there's one thing you've always wanted to do, it's lose weight. First week, you're motivated, you're pumped. Second week, you give in to temptation and you satisfy your craving with eba and ogbono soup. My name is Fierce Sharon, and this is Healthy You, brought to you by Food Farm and Consult. I am particularly thrilled about this episode as I get to discuss something which is a major concern to all of us. It's healthy diet, and I have an expert in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Joy Smith Ogemudia, CEO of Sifis Crib. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I love your outfit, I must say.
Thank you. And I love yours too.
Thank you very much. So quickly, let's get into it. I know that this is one thing that everybody can relate to, healthy diet. But first of all, I'd like you to demystify the concept of what diet is.
Diets in a layman's language explanation is the kind or the type of foods that you eat or drink on a norm, what you regularly take in as a food or as a drink, or for health reasons, for weight loss, for medical reasons. Anything you take in on a norm, a regular, that is what you call a diet.
All right. So are there types of diet?
Yes. There are types. There are tons of diet actually around these days. Some tell you 50, 60, 100. But there are some that have been around. We have the low carb diet. Just like the name says, you're low on your carbohydrates as to what you're taking. You have the Mediterranean diet. That's you majorly taking vegetables, plant-based foods. You have the paleo diet, which is somehow similar, but in that you're cutting out sugar. You're taking out all the sugar. You have the vegetarian diet, which you don't take proteins. You don't do meat. You don't do fish. You are just on plants, vegetables, and fruits. We have the keto diet. It's similar to the low carb diet because you're low on your carbohydrates. You're taking more of your proteins, less carbohydrates. You're putting in healthy fats and oil, and you're not doing fruits unless for a few. Yeah. A few.
All right. It seems there really are a ton of diets that exist.
Tons. Yeah, there are tons.
Well, I was growing up, my primary school teacher taught us the vitamins and minerals, or rather what consists a healthy diet, a healthy meal, fats, minerals, vitamins, and all that. But I want to know, what are the specifics? You have a plate in front of you. What nutrients, what vitamins should be in that food for it to be termed a healthy meal?
Yes, when you have your plate in front of you, for you to be healthy, we have to have a little portion of carbohydrates. For instance, your rice has to be little, or your yam has to be little. Then your plate should be more of vegetables, plant-based foods, vegetables. Then you have your proteins, and of course your food is prepared with oils. So you have to make sure that your oils are good.
Yeah.
Good oils. These days we're supposed to stay away from seed oils as much as possible, like the granite oils or seed grown oils, because they are not so good for us. So you have to make sure that the oils you use in preparing that dish is good. Then you have your portion of fruits, because that's where you have your vitamins. But obviously we don't get all the vitamins that we need in our foods these days. So we need to supplement. So you try to get your vitamin D, your calcium, your potassium, your magnesium. And when you can't get all this, then the best thing to do is go for supplements. But it's advisable that you try to get them from your meal because it's natural.
All right. So you mentioned some diets that exist for the purpose of weight loss. What diet do you prescribe?
Yes, for the purpose of weight loss. Generally, for someone who wants to lose weight, you need to go very low on your carbohydrates. Very low. minimal. Take up your proteins, eat your vegetables, your fruits. Yes, you will say that in your vegetables you have the carbohydrates, but there are healthy carbohydrates in your vegetables compared to the carbohydrates you get in your bread or in your rice, or pizza is carbohydrates, meat pies and snacks and pastries,
Are all guilty.
but they are all empty carbohydrates that they fill you up initially, but before you know it, you're hungry,
again.
you're craving, you're junking and all. So just cut the carbs, minimal, then do your proteins, do your vegetables. You can never go wrong with your vegetables, and you can put in your fruits. Like I said, prepare your meals with healthy fats and oils, then tons of water.
Yeah, water.
You can never go wrong with water, because in water, there's no carbohydrate, there is no protein, there is no oil, there's no calories. Water is just good. It just seals everything.
Now, speaking of weight loss, I know that there are some people that have varying statures, and by that, some are underweight, some are overweight, or what would say big in stature and small in stature. I've always been told as a growing child, as an adolescent and a teenager, watch what you eat. You don't want to blow up. You're not married yet. So I never used to binge eat junk food. I used to eat food, like cooked food.
Yeah.
I never ate out. But I don't know, some people might say that because a person's stature is attributed to how much he eats. Do you think that is true?
Majorly, yes. How much he or she eats. But most of the time, it's hereditary. If you know where you're coming from, your genes, your family, your grandparents, your parents, their size, their stature, how they are. And funny enough, sometimes too, it can be attributed to health reasons. True health, sicknesses or whatever can just make you small, no matter what you eat, or can just make you big, no matter how little you eat, you're just there. So it is not always about the foods that we eat. Genes play a major role. And when you know that in my family, we have this. So you being an educated lady, you have to watch it. Trust me, you can watch it. Even if everybody in your house is big, you can watch it and manage it, and you can be different from them all, because it's all in your hands. You can make the difference.
I like that. Now, earlier you mentioned seed oils. So in Nigeria, where we fry and cook anything and everything in oil, you're eating akara, it's fried in hot oil. Egg roll, oil. What else? Plantain, dodo, it's fried in oil. So what would you tell a typical Nigerian woman who knows that if I'm not seeing the oil on the top of the pot, I won't be satisfied? What do you have to say to that person?
Yes, that is how we grew up, with the oils, everything going in the oils in homes. All you hear is shh,
fried.
But now we know better. I can't remember the last time I fried stew in my house. That's the truth.
How do you cook your stew?
I boil it. I just blend my tomatoes. I put it to the fire. It boils down. All the water is out. I put everything I want to put in it, and I just put a little quantity of oil. And if I don't tell you it's not a fried stew, you wouldn't know.
I need to try that stew.
You wouldn't know it's not fried. You just put a little oil in it. And for years, we've lived like that in my house. So nobody complains whether it's fried or not fried. And you get your taste buds adjusted to it for health reasons. That way you're cutting out a lot of oils. You know, I don't fry plantain in my house, though.
Use air fryer.
I use air fryer, or I just cut it, I put it in my oven, I put it in my grill. It comes out the same.
Actually,
I don't fry fish, I don't fry meat, I don't fry chicken. I air fry, I grill, I smoke, whatever. I cut out the oils as much as possible from my food in my kitchen. That's how it has been over the years. Even with your yam, I don't fry yam.
Yeah, air fryer.
You can air fry whatever you want to. Then reduce your oil when it comes to your soup and your stew.
That might be impossible.
It is possible.
You know, egusi swims in oil.
Yes.
The okra swims in oil.
But you don't have to follow the trend. Like, my kids don't like seeing oils on top of their food, because that is how I train them. Yes, they don't like it. Sometimes, if I mistakenly put too much oils, I just throw in some things there that would suck up the oils and I take it off. Like my potato or whatever that would
Okay.
take the oils and I discard of it. My kids don't like seeing oil on top of their food. I don't either.
That's interesting. So, there are various products in the market that rather they market it to people as weight loss products. You drink this, your waist becomes a size 10 from size 24. You drink this, you don't have appetite, so you won't eat and you're growing lean every day. Those kind of products have saturated the market.
Yeah, I know.
So what do you have to say about that?
Personally, I wouldn't advise anyone to go after this. Yes, for starters, they are short-lived because you can't do that for life. For instance, I don't like the term diet. I prefer the term lifestyle. That's you just live that way. You just live by it. You just is a lifestyle because I feel diet is something that is temporary for a season for a while. But if it's your lifestyle, that's how you live. That's how you just go. So if you want it to be a lifestyle, I don't particularly succumb to getting all those things that cut your appetite or they take you from a size 15, 16 to a size 12 and so it's 10 to an 8 in a couple of weeks and a couple of months or whatever. We don't know what these products contain. Even if they tell you it's plants, it's herbs or whatever, I don't know. I wasn't there. Personally, I will advise someone to just go natural if you want to lose weight.
Okay.
If you want to lose weight, just go natural. You watch your food. You watch your food intake. You do your portion control. You take out those foods that you know that are not good for you at that particular time.
All right.
And you're good to go. I don't like the stuff in the market and everything. There are a lot of sicknesses out there these days, lots of diseases and everything, which we don't even know where they are coming from because these things were not there in like some 50, 80, 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But with the emergence of all this stuff being sold in the market, brings a lot of sicknesses, diseases to the table, and you're taking in these things and you're going to see the doctor, they're prescribing you drugs, you're getting worse.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So speaking of portion control, that's one thing that we find really, really hard.
Yeah, I know.
It's so hard to track your calories. So how would you suggest that I track my calories, a calorie intake?
Yeah, you can track if you want to track your calories. But personally, I don't do calorie tracking because if you watch what's in your plate, I would rather do portion control and watch what is in my plate because calorie tracking is burdensome.
It actually is.
It's stressful.
It takes away the fun of eating.
It takes away the fun of eating. Therefore, you're not hungry. You're sure that you've lost appetite. You've lost the desire to eat the food. Just watch what is in your plate. Do your portion control. And like I said earlier, take out the carb as much as possible. Yes, you say in this part of the world, in Nigeria, if not even the world in general, practically all our foods are carby. All we get to eat is the rice, the beans, the plantain, the yam, the bread, the eba, everything.
It's a staple in every Nigerian household.
Bread. Particularly, I used to love bread. I remember when I was having my kids, I never loved pounded yam. Believe you me, I will eat that pepper soup with bread.
Wow.
I will finish a loaf of bread on pepper soup. I used to love bread. But when I had to do away with it, I had no choice for health reasons. I had to do, and I learned how to make my own kind of bread. Instead of using the regular flour and everything, you could make your bread with coconut flour. It's as delicious as the normal bread and it's so less in carbohydrates. You can eat it as much as you want. Or you could even do the almond flour bread. It's equally nice.
Not a lot of people know about that.
Yes, I know not a lot of people know about that. So I learned how to bake my bread in my kitchen with a healthy flour. Since I love bread.
That's amazing, honestly. Now, I'm curious. You talk with so much passion about eating right. Do you have any health story, maybe a near-death experience, a life-changing experience?
Yes. I've come a long way. A couple of years back, like some 5, 6, 7 years back, if I hadn't made a lifestyle change, I doubt if I would have been here. I would have been gone. I was sick.
Wow.
Really, really sick. My weight was
Over the roof.
like 130 kg.
Wow.
Was that bad? Like 130 kg. My blood pressure was bad. My cholesterol was hitting the roof. I developed arthritis. My everything was inflammation. Everything was going so bad with my
Wow.
health. I kept on seeing the doctors, and they always give you drugs. The more I take the drugs, trust me, the worse I got. The more I take the drugs, the worse I got. And the drugs were expensive.
Mm.
One day, one of my doctors called me and he said, Madam, with the way you are going, you are taking the drugs, yes, but it isn't doing you any much. Why not let us work on your diet? And the first question he asked me is, what's your best food? I said, bread, obviously. And I said, rice. He said, good. He said, those two is the reason why you are the way you are. So he told me, he said, let's do something. Do away with your bread, do away with your rice, cut the carbohydrates down and everything. He just gave me some supposedly simple rules. By the time he was done, I was like, Doctor, do you want me to die? Because I don't know how I was going to survive. But he talked me into it. He gingered me, he pushed me, like motivated me, said, okay, let's do this thing for 1 month and let's see the impact it will have in your health. He says, for now, stay away from the drugs.
Mm.
So I said, okay. I remember it was May 1st. I can never forget that date. Say, let's start on May 1st that year. Let's see at the end of May
If there would be any
if there will
change.
be any change. You know, like a week, two into it, I was able to move.
Wow.
Before then, I couldn't get up from my chair unaided. Even to use the restroom, I needed help because my knees were something else.
Couldn't move.
I couldn't move. I had to work on knee and braces to help me and everything. First week, second week, I was doing better. Third week better, fourth week better. You know, by the end of that month, as we speak, I never went back to that hospital. I never went back for my checkup. I just continued that lifestyle on my own. And this is me today. I started losing the weight. My health improved because I went back taking my tests. My blood pressure dropped. I took my test for the cholesterol. Everything was dropping. My blood sugar was dropping. My knee pains were easing off. I could move. The inflammations were giving way. And I just became reborn. I got my health back. And that was what propelled me to change my lifestyle.
Well, that's a lot to take in, but I sure am fascinated. Thank you so much, Mrs. Ogimidia, for coming on the show. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Fierce Sharon, and this is Healthy You, brought to you by Food Farm and Consult. Until next time, be the light and spread love.